Hey there, welcome to the channel. Just going to park the motorbike there. The scooter cost me 5,000 dong, but at least it's in a safe place in amongst thousands of other scooters. Now how do I get out of here? I'm not sure, but I want to go over there, have a look over there. Sorry about the wind noise, if there is any. This is calm compared to the last 3 days here in Nha Trang. It has been absolutely howling the wind, like a mini typhoon that just never gives up. I want to talk to you a little bit about travel today. Some of the tips and tricks that I have or haven't learned while I've been travelling around, mainly for booking things, etc. But first, let's go and have a look over here. $2025. Happy New Year. There's the cable cars to take you over to the island. I can't remember the name of the island. You won't be able to see it very well. There's a lot of resort style, probably accommodation and shopping and whatnot over there. But it's that windy that these cable cars haven't been running for the last 2 days. They were running on the first day that I got here, and then they stopped. And this is all lit up at night, and I'll try and get some footage of when it's all lit up. So now, passengers who want to get over to the island have to rely on these fast boats. It should be a rough old ride today. Although it's not that far, it's going to be a rough old ride. Well, I got thrown out of that little area. Apparently I wasn't supposed to be there. Never mind. Hey, my card got skimmed again. Somewhere here, probably in, I'm guessing Bangkok. I didn't take any money this time. I tried to do a $0 transaction just to see if it would go through, I guess. But my bank were right onto it. Cancelled my card, which is one of the tips I'm going to give you today. I've explained before. I've got a card that allows me to withdraw or purchase whatever I want with 0 transaction fees. So instead of paying, sometimes up to €8 just to withdraw some money, it might well charge me in the machine, but my bank will refund all that money, and so it's very handy. So I've been skimmed once before, and that time they took $800 out of my account somewhere in Kenya, of all places. So that caused me a lot of inconvenience because although I had a spare card, that didn't have free transactions on it. So it was a bit of a pain. So this time I organised to have 2 cards with the same bank. Hello, how are you? No, thank you. It's okay. So that if one card got compromised, I could immediately resort to the second card, which is exactly what I've done. That worked without a hitch, it wasn't a problem. So now I'm getting another card sent over from Australia. So again, I'll be back up to having 2 transaction fee free cards. Let's go somewhere out of this wind. If we can. That's a big if too. I think that boat's on a bit of a lean. This is all the fishing boats. We're not far from where I was just before on the bay. And here's a little tung chai, or a basket boat. Sometimes they have motors attached to them, hold a couple of people, and they go out fishing in those. Now I wanted to talk to you about booking your next travel trip and how I go about doing it. After I've picked hey, there's guys on that boat, so it's obviously I don't know why it's leaning over like that, but so after you've got the plan of where you want to go, so let's say you want to come here to Vietnam. This is just the way I go about it. It might be wrong, it might be right. It's up to you. First of all, I'll find out which city I want to go to. So let's just say it's Nha Trang. And then the next thing I'll do is go to hotels. Now you can use, obviously, quite a few sites. Booking.com, Expedia, Agoda. You could even get an Airbnb if you wanted to. And so once you've picked your town, then you go to pick your hotel, choose your hotel. Take a bit of time doing this. There's a few things to check. You want to get what you want in the actual hotel, i.e. the number of beds it's got, whether it's got a pool, whether it's got breakfast included, which I always try to do. I try to get breakfast included. It just suits me better rather than having to go out and try and find a breakfast first thing in the morning. But it's obviously it's a personal choice. So once you've done that, your pool, etc. If you want a spa bath, then location is very important. And location in a couple of different aspects. Whether you want it to be close to the beach, close to the town. Just filling them up with fish if they're bait. Hello. They're decent sized fish. What he's doing? Are they bait? I don't know. Okay, location. Hello, how are you?
Chào.
So yeah, if you want it near the beach, if you want it in town, in the middle of the city where the entertainment is. So you're going to have to check those things out. And another big factor is location in regards to, I'm going to presume you're going to be flying in, so location in regards to the airport, because if you're going to be miles away from the airport, then you're going to have to pay for transport to get there, which isn't that big of a problem here in Vietnam and many other Asian countries, because they have the grab cars, which is sort of like an Uber, and they're very cheap. So it's not a great problem getting those. Look how many fishing boats there are. There's hundreds and hundreds. They're all blue, white and red. So yeah, next thing you're gonna encounter. Oh yeah, so once you've found your hotel and you've decided, settled on a good one, that's the one you want, that's the city you want to go to, I don't book the hotel right then and there. I go back to the flights. Again, you can use different sites. You've got the Google Flights or Skyscanner. I'm a fan of Skyscanner. I think it's works pretty well. As far as I know, they don't add on any fees or anything like that. So then I'll go back to the flights and I'll check those out. Now, unfortunately, with flights, I'm going to presume you're going to have a check-in bag. Good on you if you've just got carry-on. That's the way to go. Carry-on luggage is perfect every time. But if you've got checked-in bags, then you're going to have to go through a couple of clicks before you get to the part where you find out how much the checked baggage is going to cost you. Now, for example, when I had to book my flight at the Milan check-in desk, the first flight that I checked to go from Bangkok to Vietnam was only about $100, $110. And then I got to the bag checked luggage part. They wanted $160 Australian to get one bag on the flight. So, you know, $110 is all of a sudden $270, and that's very expensive for a flight from Bangkok to Vietnam, to Ho Chi Minh City. So I had to go on to the next one, and the flight was like $20 more, but the extra luggage charge was around $45 or $50, something like that. So check those things out before you just rush in and make the mistake of either A, not booking in your checked luggage as you're doing the booking, because if you make that mistake, then you've got to pay for it when you get to the airport, and that's going to cost you a bomb. That's a big mistake. So once you've done that, and you've got your flight, you've got your times that you wanted to fly, and you're going to land at a half reasonable time or whatever time suits you, then that's when I go back to the hotel and I'll book the hotel once I've done that. In my mind, it makes a little bit more sense that way, because you can always choose another hotel, but the flight that you want, you know, the next flight might be 50% more or double the price, who knows. Got their drums full of fish and they're off. Bye-bye. Hello. Yeah, so then you can go back and book your hotel. Oh, that's, I think, if I didn't just mention it, it's best to get the flight that you wanted, because you can always find another hotel that's pretty much going to have what you want in a hotel and in the location that you want. Unless, of course, it's peak time of year and the place is just absolutely booked out, then obviously that's going to be a problem. So how far in advance do I book? Not very. Sometimes only a few days. Usually only a few days, actually. Whether that's good or bad, I'm not sure. I've heard people say, no, book 6 to 8 weeks in advance, you'll get the best price. But I'm also have the theory that if I'm booking at the last minute and they want to sell that room, I'll probably get a cheap price. But I don't know. I haven't really done any fact checking on that, whether it's true or not. Let's have a little walk down this street. It's residential-ish. Maybe not. Lady selling stuff. Cook your lunch here. Hello. The next thing you've got to figure out is how you're going to get from the airport to your hotel. You've had a nice flight, nice and relaxed, I hope. And then you get into the stress of the airport taxis. What a pain they can be. Now, because I used Vietnam as an example, I'll use it again. So I can tell you that the airport, Ho Chi Minh, Tam Son Nhat airport, is terrible. There's people there trying to rip you off as soon as you get out of the terminal. The best way to overcome this is to, if you're a first time traveller to these parts, Southeast Asia, get yourself a Grab app. So it's GRAB app. Put that on your phone, add your credit card. It's very safe. I've never had any problems with it. It's very cheap, and you're going to need it, because you'll just get absolutely hounded by all the touts wanting you to get into their taxi. Alright, not much down this street, a couple of little shops. And a rooster somewhere. There he is. Strutting around. Yes, and if you ask someone at the airport, they'll point you in the right direction of where you can get a Grab from. A lot of the times they're not permitted to come right up to the airport terminal exits, so you've got to walk. For instance, for the airport in Ho Chi Minh City, it's just over the road. It's 20 metres away, so it's not far to walk at all. Others, like in Thailand, which I can never pronounce the name of the airport, Suvarnabhumi Airport, something like that. you just got to ask. They'll point you to the grab station, they call them nowadays. They're a fairly new thing. It used to just be willy-nilly, but they're a little bit more organised now. And it's going to save you a lot of money, because I've been ripped off immensely at the airports trying to get a taxi, or even a fake Grab. They'll say, "Oh yes, I work for Grab," but they won't want you to use the app, and they'll just say, "Oh, it's going to be this much." When I arrived here in Nha Trang and I got off the train, it was the same situation where a guy approached me and said, taxi, and I said, no, I'm going to get a Grab. And he was on a motorbike, and I said no, because my luggage was too big. And he said, dragged his mate over. What's this, turnip, potato, apple? So he dragged his mate over, who said, yes, I'm a Grab driver, and I wasn't 100% sure, but what I did was I opened up the Grab app and checked out the price. It shows you shows your location automatically. You put your destination in, the hotel, and it gives you a price right there and there. And in this case, it was 60,000 dong, which is hardly anything. It's like $3. And no, sorry, it was 55,000 dong. And the driver, who said he was a Grab driver, said, "I'll do that for 60,000. I thought, it's only a few cents. So I said, okay, not a problem. In the end, he's going to save a little bit of money. Grab's not going to get their commission, and he's doing a little bit of freelancing, so why not? In the end, I paid him an extra 10,000 dong, because, that's what you do. As I said, it's hardly anything. Alright, let's, there's mountains all around me, or rather large hills, behind all those power lines there. And over there in the distance, there's mountains. So I might get some lunch and go for a bit more of a ride. See if I can think of anything else to tell you about. Maybe not. All the ropes there for the fishing boats, nets. What sort of place this is? Fishing repair shop? Don't know, but it's closed. But it is Sunday. This is not the centre of Nha Trang, by the way. This is a small, I'm going to call it a different town altogether, on the outskirts of Nha Trang, on the other side of the river. Had my lunch, got myself a Pepsi, and a very nice looking barn. $1.80 Australian. Very cheap. And delicious too. So really stacked on the meat in this one. So I think all it's got is meat, pork and chicken, coriander. Oh, there's an egg under there and some carrot in a very fresh bread roll. Let's check out this barn. Very nice. They always are. When I first ever came to Vietnam, I ordered one of those, a banh mi thit, and that's exactly what I asked for. It's an old guy with one of these little carts that you can wheel up and down the street or sit them on a street corner. I asked for one banh mi thit. He looked at me as if I had two heads. Didn't understand a word I was saying, and quite clearly Vietnamese, as far as I know. And I thought, I don't know, maybe is the word thit not pronounced the way it looks. So I went to the trouble just the other day of looking up how it's pronounced. Vietnamese translated into English. That's exactly how it's pronounced. Whether it's in English or in Vietnamese, it is a banh mi thit. So I don't know. I think he was just egging me on a little bit. Just being a little bit difficult, like sometimes the locals can be. They pretend not to understand, but they actually do. I know in some cases that they just don't, but But in this case, he knew very well what I was talking about. He just didn't want to. He's just playing the game. Getting back to the hotels for a second. It's pretty important to check the reviews on a place and make sure when you've got checking out all the facilities that it has, check the Wi-Fi and whether it's got free parking if you're going to get a hire car or a motorbike, a scooter. Wi-Fi is pretty important. I'd check the reviews for the speed of the Wi-Fi. What I do, I'm pretty reliant on it. I need a nice fast Wi-Fi. Might not be important to you guys, but I think everyone uses Wi-Fi these days. Even if you want to stream a movie at the end of a long day's sightseeing, it's no good doing it. It's no good doing it if you only got, 3 megabytes a second upload or download rather. So read the reviews. It's and look, don't believe all the reviews. Read the positive ones and the negative ones, and if you consistently see something coming up in the negative ones, then you can pretty much guarantee that that's going to be correct. So be aware. Back on your flights, if you're looking for the cheapest possible flights, some sites give you the option to have a look at the prices a few days either side of the date that you've selected. Again, this is why I booked my hotel second. Book the flight first, get that organised, and then the hotel, because you can save quite a bit of money. Quite a lot of money actually, depending on how far you're going, just by being a little bit more flexible on the day that you want to travel. It might be the difference between flying out on a Monday instead of your preferred Friday or something like that, but you can save. Okay, find my scooter, see if we can get up into the hills somewhere. Couldn't get up into the mountains just yet. well, more to the point, I didn't want to get up into the mountains. I don't have a phone holder, phone carrier on this scooter, and if I'm going to go off the beaten track, I really want to have my map available so I don't get lost. So anyway, decided to head to a little beach just to have a look. Straight out to the ocean out there. Some sort of hut. Not sure what the idea behind that hut is. I do wear a helmet, as you can see. I don't ride around with my just my hat on, but I have bought my own helmet. I don't like the sweaty ones you get with the hire scooters. They're not very pleasant and they're not very comfortable, especially if you're riding for a long time. Let's see what else there is to see. Well, they wanted $5, $5 Australian just to go to the beach. And I only want to have a look. That's all I want to do. So, no, I think I'll look. I know it's only $5, but hey, I'm on a budget here, and I don't really. I'm literally only going to be there for a few minutes. He wouldn't let me just go in and have a quick look. So anyway, the beach is just down there, 200 metres. We'll find something else to do. Not exactly your white sandy tropical beach, but these boys have all been out surfing on that break just out there. They seem very happy. Fair bit of rubbish, mostly old fishing nets, general junk. But it's a little bit more sheltered than the Nha Trang beach is at the moment. Over there in the distance is that where we started, where the cable car was, and the Nha Trang is directly over those hills there. It's still a little bit windy, but it's not too bad. Alright, on that note, that'll do for this video. If you've got any other anything I've forgotten, and I'm sure that there is plenty I've forgotten. I had a list of things that I wanted to tell you about, little travel tips, but I always forget. So if you've got some, put them in the comments down below. Share. See if you can make someone else's journey just that little bit better. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Well, it's the following day here in Nha Trang. The wind has stopped blowing, typhoon force gale. which is a good thing. So I just wanted to add on to this the video I made yesterday about booking accommodation and flights. Hey, this is just the way I do it. I'm not saying it's the right way or the wrong way, or everyone's got their own ideas. As I said, put it in the comments below. But one thing you can do, which I've just done, is I went checked on my preferred site, booking.com, and got the price for another 7 nights here. And I went down to reception and asked them the price that they would charge without going through booking, and managed to save about 70,000 dong, which I'm not sure, it's a few dollars per night. So that adds up. That actually will pay for my lunch. I actually spend less than that for lunch each day. So there you go, another little tip you can add on. It might help you out. Saves me a few dollars, and that's what I'm here for, saving money.